Hi, I'm Gail Jervis. Welcome to Life After 65. And today I'm continuing the Tiny Habits Transformation series. I'm focusing on simple, easy goals to boost our cognitive health. Research has made it clear that we need to engage in mentally stimulating activities that helps build our cognitive reserve. And that can help us delay the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So today, I'm sharing 12 doable tiny habits that psychologists recommend that in order to boost our cognitive health. The good news is that these tiny habits don't take much time, and I think you're going to find that they're just fun to do. Now, if you've watched any of my previous episodes in this series, you will have heard me mention B.J. Fogg. B.J. Fogg. He wrote the book Tiny Habits, and I absolutely love this book. I recommend that if you even get hold of that book and read a copy so that you'll know why I'm so excited by this whole simple procedure of setting goals, maintaining goals. He just gives such convincing arguments how goals are important, but how we are more likely going to achieve them when they are very doable, when they don't take a lot of time. He calls those kinds of goals tiny habits. And to ensure that we consistently do these tiny habits, he tells us to anchor them to our daily routines. And I believe that is a game changer for us to successfully achieve our goals. Now, I'm going to share 12 different activities for our cognitive health that you could do every day merely by deciding when you're going to do it attached to one of your daily routines. Now, it'll be clear when I go through some of the possibilities. Number one, exercise. And by the way, I'll leave a link below for you to see the variety of tiny habits you can do to work on your physical health, from doing balance exercises, stretching, walking, strengthening your upper and lower body, just to show you how you can turn those activities into tiny habits. But what I didn't emphasize is that researchers have found that our cognitive health is helped best when we combine physical activity with cognitive development. So how could you do that? Well, when you're going for a walk, you could listen to an informative podcast. Or when you are doing your stretches, you could perhaps actually listen to a meditation, because we're told meditation is really helpful. When you're, what else can you be doing for physical activity? When you're doing your squats, you could be doing them while you're watching a documentary on TV. Always working on informative and activity, because that apparently is supposed to help us even more so. So ask yourself, what physical activities could you do that also combine some form of cognitive engagement and that you could do every day? So choose a daily routine. For example, if you happen to watch TV every day and there's a TV program that you like as far as a documentary or something where you're learning something, then connect that with doing your squats, and therefore you're getting the benefits of exercise and you're exercising your brain. So that I'm trying to think of more suggestions as far as combining the activity. You could listen to a podcast while you're doing another activity, such as your balance exercises. Anyways, you can play with it and try to combine a physical activity with something where you're learning something new. Okay. Stress-free activities actually helps our brain because we're not putting so much pressure on our entire body. And let me leave a link below for you to see the variety of tiny habits you can do to work on your emotional health that also has been proven to help our cognitive brain. Now, number 3, learn a new skill. Play an instrument. Begin a new hobby. You don't have to play a fancy instrument either. It can just be a simple harmonica. You might get together and say, let's learn how to play the ukulele, but you're learning something new. For me, I like to play the piano, but I haven't played the piano for a lot of years, and I need to really practice and get back up to wherever I might have been. Anyways, I connect it. I have my daily routine is mid-morning. I usually crave something, so I'll grab my yogurt and a piece of fruit, and you'll find out why I do that in another site. But at point, I do that, and then after that, I spend 15 minutes playing the piano. Well, that's hard work for me. My brain is definitely working. Now, ironically enough, that's also under the emotional well-being, because it's supposed to help us focus only on that task, which also is calming. But at the same point, it works on our cognitive brain. Or if you, it doesn't, as I say, it'd be so much fun if some of you got together and said, let's learn how to play the ukulele together. Let's learn how to play the harmonica together. It doesn't have to be difficult. You can just, all you're doing is learning something new, aren't you? For example, I'm also learning to speak French. My granddaughter's learning to speak French, and so I decided that I was going to review my French. Well, some of it's review and a lot of it's brand new again. But I spend that 15 minutes after lunch working on my French. That could be something for you also to do. Learning something new. You could actually just think, well, what new language would I want to do? If you're a traveler, if you're going to Mexico, learn some Mexican language, Spanish. If you're going to Quebec, learn some French. Number 4, begin writing your life story. Begin writing a novel. I mean, if you've always thought, I'd kind of like to sit down and write, but you just haven't made time for it, well, this can become a daily activity, just 10 to 15 minutes. You have other days, other times in the day that you might say, I might have more time, but this is just building that consistent daily activity, and this is helping your brain and also your emotional well-being. So don't end up procrastinating because you think you need to have this big chunk of time to start on this activity. You're just working on tiny, doable habits. Remember that. It's just writing for 10 to 15 minutes or whatever. Like, for example, the instrument. You don't have to spend a lot of time, just 10 to 15 minutes each day attached to a routine to remind you that it's time to do it. Now remember that you have larger chunks of time throughout the day that if you really want to learn to play the piano more, you probably need more than 15 minutes a day. Or if you want to accomplish writing faster, you might say, you know what, during another time of the day, I might like to set aside an hour to work on my writing. But a daily habit is guaranteeing your consistency and guaranteeing that you're giving your brain a daily workout. Number 5, puzzles. Some of you may just love doing a puzzle. Well, did you know that you're actually helping your brain doing that? It's improving your spatial reasoning, your problem-solving skills. When you work on puzzles, you're identifying patterns, you're identifying shapes, colors. All those things strengthen our visual, perceptual skills. Now, if you think, you know what, I haven't done a puzzle in a while, but I probably would like to do a puzzle, but I don't want to put it on the table, and then how do I move it, and it looks junky. Well, check out the puzzle mats on Amazon. You can create the puzzle on this mat, and when you're finished, well, some of them are really simple. You just roll them up, put them away, so that it's still accessible, but it might not get in your way, so that it prevents you from doing it every day. Number 6, are you a chess player? Because this game enhances your strategic thinking, your problem-solving skills, your memory. As you anticipate your opponent's moves, you plan strategies, you think several steps ahead. You know, I just learned to play chess during COVID. When I got this bright idea, I found this easy to play chess game that I thought our grandkids could learn. And so during COVID, we could do a lot of crazy things on Zoom, by the way. But anyways, it actually put me in a position where I learned. Now, personally, that is not my game, but it did help me. It did teach me about strategies, and so that at some point I wouldn't hurt to take it up again. And again, find simple, easy ways. There's an easy way to play this game. In fact, I probably should leave a link below to show you that chess actually isn't as intimidating as I once thought it was. Or play Scrabble or any word games, because when you're playing these games, you're recalling words, you're identifying patterns, you're having to think of some new words, you're calculating points. I mean, all of these things are exercising your memory, your critical thinking. My husband and I almost daily at lunchtime, play Quiddler, because it's a card game where we have 10 rounds, and for each round we receive an additional card, and during each hand we must make up words. And then whoever goes out having all the most words on that hand, we tally our points to see who won that round. It's an easy game. I'll put that in our link below, the game Quiddler. It's just easy to learn, easy to do. The only catch, this game requires a partner. Whereas other games that I'm going to mention, you can just do totally by yourself. Play Soduko. Now, as you fill in the grids using numbers without repetition, you're actually strengthening your logical reasoning, your pattern recognition, your concentration. All those things are good for our brain. And number 9, you could play bridge or a lot of other card games, but your memory is given a boost, particularly playing bridge, because you're memorizing other people's cards and what's been played. You're employing strategy, you're employing decision-making skills. But if you don't like bridge, I don't like bridge, but there are other card games, and you are still working your brain, aren't you? You're still looking to see what has been played and what you need to play. Or number 10, do crossword puzzles. Now you can either do these in print, you can buy lots of books of crossword puzzles, or you can actually just download an app. Now I've listed a variety of games. Now some of them you might say, oh, I can't play chess, I can't play Scrabble because they require a partner. Internet just thinks of everything. There are apps that you can download. You can download various games, and some of them are chess, Scrabble, cribbage, and bridge. I suspect some of you have discovered those apps during COVID. That's when my husband discovered cribbage, so that he went online, and he actually played online with other people who like to play that game with him. 11, there are brain training apps, would you believe? There are getting to be more and more apps that target exercises based on research findings to improve our attention, our problem solving, and our memory. Check out some of these games. They're called, one brain game is called Elevate, and the other one I think is just called Brain Training. I have to leave a link below to let you know for sure. I know that there's a couple brain training games that you could look at, and apparently I just can't think of it right now. Number 12, read a book. A study published in Science shows that reading fiction, reading novels, help you understand other people's mental states. So it not only increases your empathy, but it engages your brain. It improves your vocabulary, improves your language skills. You're having to pay attention to how the plot is developing. I mean, by reading mystery novels, you're challenging your logical thinking and problem solving. I mean, I enjoy reading a mystery novel, but sometimes I drive other people crazy because I'm already trying to anticipate who did it. Whereas I know somebody else I was talking to, I just want to see it unravel and know how it unravels and say, oh, that's who it was. But I like to see how often I can guess who done it. But anyways, that's a side point. And if you add nonfiction books to your reading list, you're stimulating your brain again, aren't you? You're learning new concepts, new ideas, perhaps you could be choosing history books or art books, whatever you're interested in. Just find a book. Or perhaps even I'm going off topic here rather than just saying reading a book, but even watching documentaries, you are learning new ideas, aren't you? Now, many of these activities you may already be doing, and that's fantastic. But you can keep doing them. But here's the thing. Choose at least a couple of activities where you're going to anchor them. Okay, we're going to turn them into tiny habits where we are anchoring them to some daily routine, because it is that consistency that is making sure we are stimulating our brain throughout the day. Now, obviously, the more we stimulate our brains with a variety of activities each day, the more benefits that you and I can experience. So here's the question. Are there any habits that you want to begin practicing daily to keep your cognitive brain challenged? Choose for this week. Choose one tiny habit to focus on. Even just that 1 week, you're going to do it daily. Then if you find yourself that, you know what, that actually worked by attaching it to when I eat or when I do prepare supper, you can add more activities. And make sure, of course, that each activity you choose works easily, seamlessly with one of your daily routines. It can be before or during or after a daily routine. Now, if you found this video helpful, please click on the notify button and subscribe button so that you'll receive more content to help you and me redefine aging. And also, please leave a comment below letting me know which habits you might have already started trying to do as a tiny habit. In the next video, I'm going to be discussing obstacles that can sometimes get in the way even when we're doing tiny habits. Now, tiny habits anchored to a daily routine really helps us overcome a lot of obstacles. But I'd like to still approach how sometimes we can still sabotage even our tiny habits and how we can overcome doing that. And until then, take care and remember, small steps can lead to big transformations.